It really has to think about risk benefit, and in kids that calculation is slightly different.
ABC News medical contributor Dr. John Brownstein. By the way, the CDC now says as many Americans have died in this pandemic as died during the 1918 pandemic. President Biden will today deliver a speech to the United Nations. On Monday, he announced the U.S. is easing restrictions for foreign citizens traveling into the United States during the pandemic. Hundreds of Homeland Security employees have now arrived in Del Rio, Texas, to handle the surge of border crossings.
Among the thousands of migrants, mostly Haitian, sheltering under a border bridge is Mackenzie Bayard.
My wife, she's pregnant. She's sleeping on the floor without a bed.
Del Rio Mayor Bruno Lozano says officials are trying to move the asylum seekers into better conditions.
Your comb is right here.
It's overcast. No, the deck is wet. It's just still not because of it.
his congressional duties virtually until he can return to Washington. I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
As much as we say we love nature, when it comes to bugs, not so much. When it comes to trees, the Ohio chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture wants you to know that most insects are not harmful to trees, especially if their populations are small. There are exceptions to that, but don't forget, every insect has a predator that's just looking to make it a meal. So sometimes it's just good to let nature take care of itself. If you're concerned about insects in your trees, find an ISA certified arborist near you at treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
This is Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
As we face uncertainties over how this new school year will go, we know there are major challenges ahead. Approaches to reopening schools will vary, but the health and safety of students, school staff, and communities must always be the top priority. One thing is certain, whether teaching online or in person, Ohio's educators are dedicated to every student's success.
Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
Hello, everyone, from the Watchdog. I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday under mostly cloudy skies with a slight chance for a scattered shower, a daytime high near 72. Overnight low of 66 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Showers likely. Those showers continue on and off as we go through your Wednesday. It could be heavy at times with temperatures in the lower 70s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, listen up, you guys. Morning. You awake? It's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
I am loving the sound of your voice.
Good morning, sunshine.
Crank up the radio.
You all ready for the big show?
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
And action.
Okay, let's do it. Hey, guys. You ready to let the dogs out?
All right, let's do this.
Yes, we are ready to let the dogs out.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's showtime.
News, information, conversation, controversy, and fun. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
65 degrees, cloudy skies, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 65 cloudy at the Robinson Auto Group studio. Well, 65 and cloudy here at my home studio in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling. 65 and cloudy at the Robinson Auto Group studios downtown Wheeling. In the heart of the Ohio Valley, we had here in Elm Grove a little light sprinkle earlier this morning. I can't tell if it's still raining or not, but a light sprinkle this morning. It's very cloudy, very overcast. We're going to see some good soaking rain during the day today. I guess we need that. We had a good rain last night, though, Biffy. I don't know if in your neighborhood if it came down or not, but it was, again, pretty short-lived. But, man, just one of those, almost like a spring shower, just a big soaking rain came down.
Oh, it hit. It was 3 hours after I finished cutting the grass, but yeah, it hit. Because I got done. It was about, let's see, maybe like, I don't know, 1:30, maybe 1:45, and sun was out. It was nice, and all of a sudden at about close to 4 o'clock, I kind of looked out the window, and it's like, man, where's the sun? Like the sun just all of a sudden disappeared, and next thing I know, I look out and it started raining, and I said it's raining, but I used an adjective before it's raining because I just finished cutting the grass, so wasn't too happy about that, and then it quit for a little bit, and then it's like another little shower, like right around dinner time, moved through again, and yeah, I think overnight had just a little bit more, and that was it. But yeah, it was kind of surprising. I didn't think we were supposed to get any rain yesterday, but it hit right, like I said, about 2-3 hours after I got the grass cut. So yeah, of course. I mean, if you want it to rain, you either do one of two things: you either cut your grass or you get your car washed. And the odds are,
the car. Yeah, that's right.
Or the odds are within a couple hours, it's probably going to rain.
I was actually, I like you, I didn't expect a rain, and it was not it was a soaking downpour for a short period of time. And you're right, it came in two bands, by the way. It came, it stopped, and then it came again. But I was kind of glad because it actually cooled things off a lot, which we need in the Monroe household. I swear, we are just cursed with our HVAC system in this house. You might remember during the middle of the winter, the heating wasn't working right, and they came and fixed it right away. No big deal. It's a brand new furnace. They came and they fixed it right away. Night before last, my son is here and he goes, "Dad, boy, something doesn't. It's not that it's just warm. Is it humid?" And I checked the humidity level. It was like 82% in the house. I said, "Well, yeah, this isn't right." And it turned out the air conditioning wasn't working. So the air conditioning guy come yesterday, and he said, "Oh, yeah, I see what the problem is. You need an electrical board. It's no big deal. It's a small item. It's under warranty anyway. It's no big deal. Only problem is we don't have it in stock. So it'll be a week or so before it gets there." So it was just sweltering in this house. Actually, it's really warm this morning, too. It was just sweltering in this house. So I was really, when the rain came by, I opened the door, let the wind come in, and then it cooled things down a lot, which was really, at least for us, quite helpful. So I was glad to see that. But I guess we're going to see a good bit more rain today. We'll talk about all of that with Zach coming up a little bit later on this morning. Speaking of Zach, which makes me think of the WTRF TV7 weather team, do you see who's retiring?
Dr. Dave.
Dr. Dave is saying bye-bye. Dr. Dave, the chief meteorologist at WTRF TV, is retiring at the end of this week. And man, he's getting out of Dodge. He's heading, he didn't say where, he said a warmer climate, but I'm guessing maybe Florida. But he's heading down south, gonna leave us. I don't know how long. And I don't think, DK did a good story about this yesterday, but I don't know how long Dr. Dave has been here. It's been a good while, though. He's been around for a good while. He's really ingrained himself into the TV station, into our community. So how long has he been here, Biff? You got any guess? I'll guess I can ask Zach. He might know.
Yeah, he was here when Emily was here, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he was here when Brian was here. He was here when Brian was here.
Oh, he goes far. Okay, so I don't know exactly, but it's it's been a while. I know that.
Did you watch any of the TV coverage of this? DK Wright did a little story about him yesterday. They're going to do a story on Channel 7 every day this week about Dr. Dave's career. Did you watch any of that on TV yesterday?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, and then they played it again this morning too. So.
It's always amazing to see, I only know Dr. Dave as he is now, at the age he is now. And I don't know what that age is, but he's retiring, so, maybe figure that out, right? And you saw some of those younger pictures of Dr. Dave with the beard and the mustache, and the young Dr. Dave. It was like, whoa, that's Dr. Dave.
Some of those, they were great. Looking back at some of those pictures, I was laughing when I saw them. I said, "Oh my goodness, that's just." It was funny.
Look, everybody, well, most people look different. I have some friends who truly, truly don't look any different now than they did 30, 40 years ago. And I love them dearly, but I also want to punch them sometimes. Because they literally look the same as they did. When I went to my 50th high school reunion recently, there were a couple of them, girls especially. I was like, okay, you look just like you did in high school. It's amazing. I do not, in case anybody is curious, I do not. I tell people this all the time. I used to be rail thin. I mean, like scarecrow, rail thin. Of course, I was a nerd. I was a geek. And one look at me is like, whoa, there's a geek. And I don't even know when I began to put on weight. Probably around the time I started drinking beer.
It all goes back to the beer.
Guessing. I think that may have been it. But anyway, so everybody looks different. Most people look different from the way they did when they first started out in their career. I have some pictures I posted on the West Virginia Broadcasting page on was it Disc Jockey Day this year or something. They were pictures of me in my very, very early years in the radio studios back in literally the late 60s, early 70s. And I don't know if you even recognize me. So, but that's what there were a lot of interesting things in the Dr. Dave retrospective that DK did last night. But really, what kept getting me were all those pictures of him. Dr. Dave has that, I don't know what word to put, he has that I'm Dr. Dave air about him, right? And he just doesn't, I don't think of him as the guy with the beard, he kind of, not quite a hippie, I don't want to go there, but I mean, he was just, I guess younger maybe is the way. Anyway, congratulations to Dr. Dave for a career that's coming to an end now. He has worked in Wisconsin, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Ohio, here in Wheeling, covered all different kinds of weather items, and he, unlike me, is smart enough to know when it's time to say goodbye. He's smart enough to know, okay, I think I can retire now. I just keep on getting up in the morning, doing the show. People are always asking me, hey, Howard, no worry, nice to see you. You retired? No. What? No. How old are you? 68. What? Not retired? No. Get up every morning, do a radio show. What's wrong with you? That's usually what I.
Well, nobody's told.
I usually get like, oh, you have to work. You didn't save enough money. No, actually, we've done well over the years. Put some money aside and all that kind of good stuff. I don't know why. I guess I'm an idiot. I guess that's basically it. I'm just an idiot.
Well, no one's told you yet not to quit coming on. So you're up. You might well just come on and do a show. I mean, why not?
By the way, that literally is my reason for being here. I mean, I get it. I'm up. I'm going to be doing something for these 3 hours. I don't comprehend what people do who are totally and completely retired. I mean, look, I got a nice cup of coffee here. Drink 2 or 3 cups every morning here on the radio. Biff, you and I solve the problems of the world by talking about the stuff that's going on in the news and so on, right?
Yeah, we at least try to.
Yeah, so I don't really need to be one of those guys who goes to McDonald's, and sits around the table at 8 o'clock in the morning and orders coffee and talks. I can do that on the radio. So, and I do it from home, so I don't have to go anywhere. I just get up and come. So, yeah, it's like, got to do something. Why not do this? Hey, it's not like I'm shoveling coal, right?
Or you're putting a tarp on the Fort Henry Bridge and having to go up and paint it later on.
Boy, that's something. Have you notice when you drive under that half of the Fort Henry Bridge right now, which is all covered with the tarp because they're painting the south side of the bridge, I guess now. Do you notice it's almost like going into a cave because you just drive. It's so dark in there.
And it's 10 degrees cooler.
Tarp there and so on. Yeah, and cooler, and cooler too. That's right. Are they doing it? Is it going to be? Is it all going to be the same? I still think they should make it blue and gold. I suppose it's all going to be that blue that the one half that's already been painted is, right?
Yeah.
It's all just going to be that blue.
Yeah, something about the paint or something they couldn't. I don't know. I think the mayor explained it to us one day about the paint because we actually asked him about it, and I think it was finding something, or they didn't have that. They said they couldn't do two colors for a reason, and whatever they had to paint all of it, whatever they decided they had to go with all of it or something. I don't know. I forget exactly, but I remember the mayor explaining it to us the one time we had him on.
It just would have. I think it'd be cool to see the blue and gold mountaineer colors right there. You come into West Virginia, blue and gold hits you in the face right there. But and do the painters go up underneath that tarp? I guess they do. You're a painter, Biff. How are they painting that?
They actually, yeah, I think they go underneath the tarp, and they got what. I don't know what that is that they lay all the way up, but I think they actually go on that. They actually sit on that or do whatever and then paint it that way. And then I think what they do, the lift that they use, and it's one, I don't think it's, how you see the ones that just kind of like extend like a telescope, like those type lifts.
Right.
I think the lift that they have, it just goes straight up. So they just send the guy, I guess, straight up, and that's how they paint the top of it, I guess.
We're talking, for those of you who didn't, I don't think I began, we're talking about the suspension, or not the suspension bridge, but the Fort Henry Bridge, where they've got the tarp up, and I guess they're getting ready to paint the second side of that bridge. Speaking of bridges, our opinion poll still up today at watchdognetwork.com on the suspension bridge. Slowly but surely, more folks are beginning to say they don't think it should be open to vehicular traffic. The opinion poll, watchdognetwork.com. Do you think the suspension bridge should be reopened to vehicular traffic? It's about 62% now saying yes, and the others are saying no, not open to vehicular traffic. I said yesterday, I really expect this to be 100%. And maybe people took that as a challenge, because since I mentioned that yesterday, I was seeing more folks rolling in with the no vote. But you can vote in our Watchdog poll. It's at watchdognetwork.com. Do you think the suspension bridge should be reopened to traffic? All right, what have we got coming up today? Got a lot of COVID conversation. The governor wants to help hospitals with a special fund to ease their loss of revenue because of COVID concerns having to deal with COVID. We're going to talk to a University of South Florida professor who says we're messaging this vaccination thing all wrong. We're doing, certainly Governor Justice, for example, is, why, you have got to get your vaccine or you're going to die. People are going to die. There's going to be lots of dying going on. Body bags are going to stack up. We're going to die. Better get your vaccine. Professor from University of South Florida wrote a piece that I read yesterday saying, this is wrong. This is not the way you get the vaccine hesitant to change their minds. What is the way? He's going to join us coming up a little bit later on this morning. That big right-wing rally at the Capitol over the weekend, Justice for J6, really fizzled out. It turned out to be a big nothing burger, if I may quote Governor Justice. Tom Squitieri and I will kick that around and a few other matters off the national scene as well when our national correspondent joins us in the next hour of the show. We're also going to be bringing you, because Biff reminded me at the end of the show yesterday, like an idiot, I forgot to bring you installment number 1. ABC News is doing a really good in-depth series called America Strong. It's designed to be a Monday morning report that will give to you on stories of American resilience, American involvement in their communities during the pandemic and during difficult times, how we are doing good things. It's called America Strong. It'll be in every Monday feature. When I remember to do it on a Monday. So we'll have America Strong coming up today. The special Monday feature on Tuesday. Oh, hey. That's kind of like the newspaper. We'll have the Monday feature on Tuesday. It's a little bit like the Sunday News Register coming on Saturday. Yeah, okay. I don't feel so bad. I'm taking after McCabe. Well, that makes me feel bad. And what is the number one, not as the number one thing, but what is one major thing that many of the millionaires in America worry about? And I'll tell you about that coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 7:26, 26 after the hour, looking at some light drizzle here at the home studios. Not a lot, it's almost a sprinkle. 65 cloudy at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 65 cloudy here at my home studios in Elm Grove. 65 and cloudy at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley.
Hi, it's Hoppy Kercheval inviting you to join me
Are you having some problems this morning? Oh, that's okay. Okay. We can do that. That's fine. It sounded like you were having some problems with maybe the computer. Yeah. Gotcha. I got you. Okay. Yeah, nothing's coming. Okay, all right. I could just tell that there were some pauses and stuff. I didn't know what was wrong. Okay. Okay. They got hacked is what happened. One of those big hacks. Yeah. All right. I could just tell something wasn't quite right. I didn't know what it was. So. Okay. Yeah, I know I took a picture of that. I can't remember what it is again that we're giving away for, and I was just trying to find my picture of it, and it's in Steubenville. All right, I may just have to let you talk about it because I thought I took a picture of it. Now I can't find it, so I don't know. We'll do that too. I did have that on my list, along with America Strong. Okay, sounds good. We'll persevere one way or another. Yep.
Every weeknight at 6 p.m., join the voice of the Mountaineers, Tony Caridi, on The Watchdog. Tony informs and entertains WVU fans with the latest Mountaineer sports news. If it happens in the world of gold and blue, Tony knows about it and shares it with you. Sportsline, weeknights at 6 on The Watchdog.
He rambles, he rants, and sometimes he sings. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
If you are watching us on our Facebook Live video feed, as I always try to remind you to do, be sure to like us and then share it. Hit the like button on Facebook Live if you're watching the video. Share that video to your timeline, to your news feed, any place you think it's appropriate to share it. Don't intrude on groups that are not interested in talking about politics and news and stuff. Don't put us in the food fanatics group. That'll just make them mad, even though we talk about food a lot. But otherwise, like us and share us, certainly to your timeline, to your news feed. You can find our video feed on my Facebook page, on the Watchdogs Facebook page. Of course, if you want to just watch it, you can go to watchdognetwork.com, where the live feed is broadcasting. And you can always check us out on our archives in our own YouTube channel, The Watchdog. So check that out. 7:31, 29 before the hour. You know, there's an awful lot going on these days. I mean, there's the pandemic. There are natural disasters seemingly everywhere. People worried about jobs, getting jobs, filling jobs, not enough people having jobs. You know, education is a great concern. We just got all kinds of things in our mind. I mean, the endless debate over who's going to host Jeopardy. You know, these are the important things that we gotta worry about. But apparently, if you're a millionaire, there is one thing that is even bigger than those, Biffy, and you know what it is?
Taxes.
For your kids. How much money do you give to your kids? 67, and here's what's interesting. Hey, the kids of rich parents, listen to this. 67% of millionaires say they're worried about leaving too much money to their kids. Now, my guess would be if you're the kid, you're going, it's okay, Dad, too much is fine. I can live with too much money. It's all right. Well, I'll figure it out. Apparently, the millionaires that were surveyed for this poll say they're worried their kids will blow the money. In other words, you did not teach them very well. You didn't teach them how to properly budget money, save money. And now you're getting ready to croak, and you're worried that when you give all this money to your kids, they will just blow it. Now, my first thought would be, what the hell do you care? You're dead, right? I mean, okay. You leave the money to your kids, they blow it, they're poor. You don't leave the money to your kids, therefore they can't blow it. They're poor. You're 6 feet under. But, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't love your kids. I'm just saying, if you think about that, leave the money to the kids. If they can play around with a new sports car for a while and then eventually, I mean, that's, at least that's the way I would approach it. Now, they say that if they leave money to their kids, the kids will become lazy. And again, if you believe that, it probably means you haven't taught your kids very well. You haven't taught your kids the value of work. And I know what some of you are thinking. Howard, are you teaching Teddy the value of work? Well, no, I just give him everything he wants. But when I go, my estate will be there. Go to the boys, my boys, and some to Teddy and the other kids, and I'll trust them to make their wise move. 1/3 of millionaires do say they plan to leave half of their assets to their children. 2/3 say they plan on leaving their estate to charity, at least part of their estate to charity. Here's a little stat for you before I turn this story away. The wealthiest 1% of Americans receive inheritances on the average of $719,000. The bottom 50% of Americans, their inheritance are under $10,000. So if you're a rich kid, you're going to get a whole lot more. That's all I can say. If your parents care to leave it to you. I don't know. To me, I mean, whatever I've accumulated in life, Biffy, the old phrase, you can't take it with you. And why would I not want to leave it to my kids or grandkids? I don't get it. Maybe I'll leave some to you, Biff.
Oh, there you go. That'd be good.
If I do, I want you to go. If I do, I want you to go up to Charlie's place and throw a big party with part of it.
I can do that, no problem.
I'm sure that you could. 7:35, 25 to the hour on the Watchdog Morning Show. 65 degrees all the way around. Cloudy, going to be that way all day. Rain a little bit right now. Going to be that way all day. Forecast in depth and in detail with Zach Petty coming up. We'll also talk to him about the retirement of Dr. Dave. What is he going to do when his mentor has gone away? We'll talk about that with Zach coming up. But first, we'll check some headlines for you. and Mr. DeFabio has morning sports. We are the Watchdog Morning Show here on a Tuesday.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. Children aged He already has plans in place to make sure families have access to the vaccine for their young children once it's approved. Greenbrier County, the only county in West Virginia to issue an indoor mask mandate. Health Officer Dr. Bridget Morrison says they needed an added layer of protection as they continue to see a rise in COVID cases and deaths.
We ask and been begging for people to wear masks, and some people stepped up and was doing so, but not enough.
West Virginia does not have a statewide mask mandate. Those decisions are being made on a county-by-county basis. Morrison says Greenbrier County's mandate will be in effect for at least 3 weeks until the county commission meeting, where she hopes it'll be extended. Police in Morgantown and Charleston say they have positively identified bodies found in separate incidents in recent days. 23-year-old Jeffrey Uphold of Brewston Mills was pulled from the Monongahela River last Friday. He had been reported missing by family. 52-year-old Dallas Atkins Jr. of Marmette was identified in Charleston as being struck by a train Saturday. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. A charter bus driver who drove the Hedgesville High School football team and cheerleading team home from a game in Morgantown over the weekend now faces a charge of DUI. Football coach Matt Faircloth says the driver was swerving on I-68 in Cumberland, Maryland.
Crossing center line, doing some other things, going off the road a little bit. But anybody that's traveled down 68 at night knows that when you're coming down them hills and up them hills, and, you're hitting high rate of speed.
The coaches then called police. It happened on Saturday morning. Nobody was hurt. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Monday Night Football in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers defeated the visiting Detroit Lions 35-17. Aaron Rodgers with 4 TD passes. The other Aaron, the running back, Aaron Jones, recorded 4 TDs. Green Bay scored 21 points in the second half. Let's hear from quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
Misty that we got, doesn't really bother us, and got some turnovers tonight, which was important. We got to start a little faster, for sure. We've started slowly in both the first 2 games, so hostile environment next week. We got to start faster.
Meanwhile, the Steelers will try to rebound from Sunday's loss to the Raiders. According to defensive captain of Pittsburgh, Cam Hayward, the team needs to grow following losses.
I'm not going to say, London Bridge is falling down, but we got to grow from this. We got to continue to keep harping on our mistakes and understand how big those plays are.
Meanwhile, quarterback Ben Roethlisberger had these comments on the loss to the Raiders.
Right now, my play's just not good enough. If I play better, we have a chance to win the football game. And so that loss, I'll take that. I apologize to the fans for that home opener. They were awesome. And it's disappointing that we didn't get that.
1-1 Steelers host the 1-1 Cincinnati Bengals Sunday at Heinz Field. In Cincinnati, the baseball Reds defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates by the score of 9-5. The Associated Press college football poll, to no one's surprise, Alabama number 1, Georgia number 2, and number 3, Oregon. At number 4, Oklahoma. Number 5, Iowa. At number 6, after their win over Auburn, the Penn State Nittany Lions. For Buckeye Nation, Ohio State ranked 10th in the nation.
As much as we say we love nature, when it comes to bugs, not so much. When it comes to trees, the Ohio chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture wants you to know that most insects are not harmful to trees, especially if their populations are small. There are exceptions to that, but don't forget, every insect has a predator that's just looking to make it a meal. So sometimes it's just good to let nature take care of itself. If you're concerned about insects on your trees, find an ISA-certified arborist near you at trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
This is Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
As we face uncertainties over how this new school year will go, we know there are major challenges ahead. Approaches to reopening schools will vary, but the health and safety of students, school staff, and communities must always be the top priority. One thing is certain, whether teaching online or in person, Ohio's educators are dedicated to every student's success.
Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Toyotas are known for savings and reliability you can count on. So check out a gas model RAV4, a spacious Highlander, or even an all-wheel drive hybrid Venza, all with $500 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great deals. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers may vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end October 4th. Toyota. Let's go places.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Friday nights in the fall are reserved for high school football, and the 20-year tradition continues on Metro News. It's Summit Community Bank High School Game Night with Fred Persinger and Dave Jecklin, celebrating 20 years of bringing you up-to-the-minute scores, conference standings, player and coach interviews, and more. Tune in all season long to follow your favorite school. Friday nights from 9:30 to midnight. Summit Community Bank High School Game Night on this Metro News station.
You want sports talk? We got the goods all night long. Tune into Sports Map Radio, evenings and overnights on FM 98.1, AM 1600. We are the Watchdog.
Miss a part of the show? Want to hear a segment again? Check out our podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Biff, drunk driving is a bad deal no matter who does it or where they do it, right? And we can certainly concur that DUIs, drunk driving is just all the way around wrong, right?
Yeah, no argument for me on that one.
But it goes to a bigger and more, I don't know what I want to use, angering level, I guess. When someone is driving kids around, in particular football players and cheerleaders. I didn't catch this story yesterday. I guess this was on with Hoppy yesterday, and I didn't catch it until just a few minutes ago when Chris did the story on Metro News. A charter bus driver driving the football and cheerleading team members from Hedgesville High home from a game in Morgantown early Saturday morning was charged with a DUI. Apparently, it was a little caravan of buses, and the coaches in the buses behind this guy, he was the lead bus, noticed he was swerving all over the road, went off the road a few times. Good on the coaches. They called the cops. They called the cops on the driver or the bus in front of them.
Yeah.
Said, we got a problem here. And then they kind of flicked their lights and whatever, and they all stopped at a travel center. And when they stopped there, state police were there and arrested this guy. But,
Hoppy had the head football coach on yesterday, and I actually got to hear this. And he said it was actually the cheerleading coach was the one that called the police. And the way that they got the bus to pull over in the little rest area, they told him, they said, hey, there's some kids that had to use the bathroom. So I guess the bus or whatever they were driving pulled over, and, they told the cops where they were going to be, and that's how the cops ended up meeting them. And then they took the kids from that bus. The coach said they put the rest of them on the other ones, and they had them all sitting, I guess, in each row, 2 to a seat, and that's how they got back. And I think he said the last kid that got picked up was almost 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday when the last one got picked up by their parents. Just a crazy story.
The story I have in front of me doesn't say what the guy's blood alcohol content was. He has been arrested and charged with DUI. Look, I understand that I understand alcoholism is a disease, and sometimes people don't realize what they're doing, but how in the hell can you get behind the wheel of a bus carrying kids, knowing that you've had too many? How can you do that?
Oh, I mean, and think of how many lives you're putting in danger. I mean, just the bus company in general. Could you imagine how much trouble they would have been in if, something would have happened? I mean, my goodness.
And that stretch of I-68 they're talking about is a windy stretch. I mean, it's not like they're out in, I don't know, Arizona where, you got 10 miles of straight road or something. I mean, I don't know. I just, nothing else to say about it, but it's just, how can you get behind the wheel of a bus? I mean, it's better, I guess I should ask the question, how do you get behind the wheel of a car? But how can you get behind the wheel of a bus with kids in it?
Yeah. Yeah, and think about it. From two different squads. You've got a football team and a cheerleading team.
Cheerleading team. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, I kept Zach waiting too long. I do apologize for that. Zach Petty is here from the Big 7, WTRF TV. Good morning, Zach. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Hey, we're all good. How are you today?
Good. Are you bummed out? Are you sad? Are you depressed this morning?
In regards to
Dr. Dave is leaving.
Yeah,
Dr.
I know.
Dave is leaving.
We're certainly losing the head honcho there. It's a big piece of the weather department, the most pronounced and prolific. That's for sure. He's definitely been here a long time. Learned a lot from him recently, and just got to keep the name alive and running.
Biff and I were talking earlier, watching DK Wright's piece that she did about Dr. Dave yesterday on Channel 7. I only know Dr. Dave in his current incarnation. I am Dr. Dave, and he is the way he is today. And I look back on some of those pictures with Dr. Dave and the beard, and I was like, wow, I never would have thought that was Dr. Dave. He must have been a different guy when he was a younger guy. Oh, yeah, exactly. You're right. You're exactly right. In fact, that's a great point. When I first saw the picture, DK's doing the story, and they roll up a picture of this guy in a beard, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is the anchor, and they're going to throw it to Dr. Dave. And then that bearded man said, well, now for the weather. It's okay, nope, that's Dr. Dave. Recognize the voice. That's Doc, no question about it. No question about it. It's going to be I mean, he's been around for a good while, though. Wish him well.
Absolutely,
smart enough to know when to retire. I'm not smart enough to know when to retire. Smart enough to know when to retire. And I guess, I don't know where he's going, but he said to a warmer climate. I'm guessing Carolinas, Florida, something like that. So more power to him.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, he deserves it. I think he's been doing it for 41 years, and I think you're up there close to that, aren't you, too?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's longer than that.
Oh.
Yeah. Listen, I passed the 50th mark because I started when I was in high school. Literally started when I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
And my 50th high school reunion was this year, so you can do the math on that. So yes, but it's like Biff said earlier. For me, Howard, if you didn't do it, what would you do in the morning? I don't know what I'd do in the morning.
Sleep.
I mean, like you've learned. I mean, after a while, I'm used to getting up at earlier than most people. I like the mornings, whether I'm working them or it's just nice having more. But what am I going to do? Am I going to go to McDonald's and meet a bunch of old guys and drink coffee and talk about the problems of the day? Well, I do that right now and get paid for it. So.
That's a very fair point.
All right, well, let's talk about the weather. Yesterday afternoon's rain caught me a little bit by surprise. It wasn't a long-lived rain, but it was a good downpour there for a brief period of time. Good news is it cooled things off, though.
Yeah, it was definitely, as Dr. Dave would say, nice serving a humble pie to my forecast yesterday. Again, it doesn't happen to me often, but definitely caught me by a little bit of a surprise as well. Some of the models were indicating of it. I just thought, okay, this is just a bad batch of model data. But again, Mother Nature reigns supreme, and I guess we have to turn over every rock. So a little bit of off guard there as well, but at least it did hold true to feeling a lot more like the kind of the last ode to summer, with the temperatures actually maxing out in the mid-80s yesterday for our afternoon high. So at least we got that one right.
And I was actually glad. I told the audience once again we've got HVAC problems. Our air conditioning's not working. It's a little tiny part, they tell me, easy to replace, except they don't have it, so it's going to be a week before they can get it. Anyway, so I was really glad when the rain came through and the temperature dropped significantly, because it made it a lot cooler at least. And we're going to see more of that kind of rain today, right? I mean, it was a good soaking downpour that we saw yesterday afternoon. That's the kind of rain we look for today?
Yeah, there will definitely be some pockets of heavier rain, and that's kind of what's moving right along I-70. So, Howard, if you can imagine, all the way from Tuscarawas down into Washington County on I-77, mainly to the west, but most of Guernsey and Noble County starting to see some of that rain. It's just getting ready to cross over into the Belmont County, Monroe County border right now, and it looks like it's trending in a north-northeast direction. I'm not 100% certain that it's going to move immediately into the Panhandle, but something I'll continue to keep an eye on as the morning progresses. But definitely, if it does rain, there could be some heavier pockets, but this is all thanks to a pretty pesky upper-level disturbance that'll allow a surface cold front to move through. That'll bring widespread rain to the forecast tomorrow. That's where we'll see some heavier bands of rain, some downpours. The Weather Prediction Center has already issued a slight risk for excessive rainfall that could exceed flash flood guidance. So again, we'll have to stay weather aware and prepared for tomorrow. But today, just a kershunk day. Gray and gloomy, not a whole lot of sun. Not the way you want to spend the last official day of summer.
About 65 the last time I checked at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Going to go up about 10 more degrees to the mid-70s before the day is over and done with. But really, all this week, we're staying well below 80, 70s and even 60s by the weekend, right?
Oh, yeah. We'll see a gradual decline in temperatures. We had mid-80s yesterday, mid-70s today, maybe low 70s for tomorrow, then mid to low 60s. By Thursday, so at least you won't be fretting too much about needing to stay cool on Thursday or Friday, Howard, because we'll have those temperatures rocking in the mid to upper 60s by the time we head into Friday and Saturday. So at least there's the fall feel will be back in the air, especially with overnight lows in the upper 40s, if not low 50s, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
All right. Is it going to be sunny? I can't quite tell on the 7-day because I printed it out badly today. Is it going to be sunny over the weekend or not?
Friday will be good. Saturday, I have a mixture of sun and clouds, a stray shower in the afternoon, but we should be clearing and drying out, seeing a bit more of the bright yellow orb come Sunday and Monday.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Well, we'll look for some rain, a little bit of rain today, much more rain tomorrow, and fall comes in officially tomorrow. Is there a time for that tomorrow?
Yeah, there is. I don't have it officially up on me. That should probably be something that I should know, but I don't officially have it. I'll have it for you tomorrow morning, though. I promise you that much.
All right, we'll talk about it then. Biff, I heard you go.
Zach, I think 3:20 is the official time for fall.
3:20. That sounds about right. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. No time, but I'll take Brother Biff's word for it. 3:20. That sounds good to me.
And if not, we'll say Brother Biff is the one who was wrong tomorrow when you double check that.
Right.
All right, Zach, I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us this morning, guys. I'm sorry I got you in there late. That story about the drunk driving school bus driver just really was on my mind. I wanted to offer some thoughts about that. So thanks for being patient, and thanks for being here, and we'll do it again tomorrow morning.
All good. Sounds good. Have a good rest of your day now.
All right. Thanks a lot. Zach Penny from the Big 7, WTRF TV, 7:55, 5 before the hour. Do you have to do a break, Biffy?
We are good.
All right. If you just joined us and you're wondering what I was talking about, Dr. Dave announced on WTRF TV, Chief Meteorologist Dr. Dave Walker announced on WTRF yesterday that he is retiring at the end of this week. Channel 7 doing a series of tributes, I guess you could say, to him, retrospectives of his career and his time here every day this week on the Big 7. I don't know if DK's still in the mall. DK Wright, our old friend DK Wright, did one yesterday, and we'll probably do some more as well. So we wish Dr. Dave well. Again, listen, as I said earlier, I give credit to those who are smart enough to know when to call it quits. I'm just not. But apparently, Biff, people are calling it quits earlier now than it used to be. I mean, retirement age used to be considered 65. I think most people said 65 was retirement age. Actually, Social Security age is now bumped up to 66. But according to a story I was reading yesterday from Business Insider, the new retirement age is 62 or even younger. And they've given a name to this. This is baby boomers who are trying to get out of the work world early and maybe have more time for themselves in the latter years of their life. They're calling it now the Great Resignation. The Great Resignation. That is the idea that you retire early and spend more of your life enjoying yourself without having to worry about going to work. Of course, the problem is, Biffy, you have to be in a position to actually enjoy yourself without going to work, right? I mean,
yeah, and
it's great if you can retire and you got a pension, or you can retire and you've got some family money, or you can retire and you saved a lot of money. Social Security is a wonderful thing, and we need it, and I'm so glad I get it because it allows me to do some extra things in my life. But let me tell you, as one who's here, you don't want to try and live on Social Security, and I know people who do, and it's. So it's a neat concept, the Great Resignation. Baby boomers trying to get their golden years back is the way they phrased it here.
Why do we got to give names to everything, though?
I know. Everything has to have a name.
I mean, geez.
It's just
we can't just call it the...
It's not enough to just say...
Yeah, they're going to go and enjoy themselves. I mean, we can't say that. We got to have a name for it.
Yeah, it's not enough to just say, hey, people are retiring early. That's it.
Yeah,
people retiring early.
That's it.
No, it's the Great Resignation. The Great Resignation. And it is a term being used. When I saw this story in Business Insider yesterday, I thought, is this something these guys made up? So I did a little quick Google search. No, there's all kinds of stories about the Great Resignation. I don't know. More than 1 million older Americans have exited the workforce since COVID-19 struck. So certainly that's part of the reason. COVID has just changed people's mindset a lot about work, and if you are able to retire now, many people have. 1.5 million Americans cited COVID-19 as the main reason they're not in the workforce. Some say that they just are tired of their job. COVID gave them a reminder that, you don't have to always do a bad job. So, and quite frankly, for those who did invest, like in the stock market, if you don't look at yesterday, the market has in general been on the rise. So people have been building their nest eggs. So just remember, Biffy, it's the Great Resignation. People are retiring early. 8 o'clock, Watchdog Morning Show. Tom Squitieri, national correspondent, coming up next.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Second dose. J&J.